everybody, I'm Sergio with Mobility Scooters Direct, here today to do an unboxing video of the Pride Victory Sport LX 4-wheel mobility scooter. This is a 2019 model. It's a full-size scooter. It goes pretty fast, and it shows up in this box with a few other boxes that contain the chair and some smaller parts. When you get the box, if you don't get white glove delivery, you are going to need to open up the box, take it apart, get rid of the styrofoam molding, which I'm going to show you how to do. It is a big unit. You probably are going to need assistance getting it in the house and moving it into a location that you have plenty of space to kind of put it all together. So with that being said, let's get started. Like all the unboxing videos that we do, when it's a Pride mobility scooter, the first thing we do is we cut open the box. We get rid of the straps carefully so we don't damage the product, or so you don't harm yourself with the box cutter or a pair of scissors, whatever you're using that's sharp to get the job done. Once you get the straps off, you want to do the same with the tape on the edges. Carefully cut it so that you can open the box without harming or damaging the product on the inside. I like to go in at an angle instead of straight on down. And once the box is open, you can simply take off the piece of cardboard at the top there to see that you've got a few things here. Because this particular order was with a larger seat, the seat came in a separate box. So we'll go ahead and get a close-up shot of what's inside the box as soon as it's open. So now that the box is open, we can see what's inside. Inside we've got the user manual, which comes with the keys. You want to put that somewhere safe and start to take out what's on top here. In this case, we've got a rear view mirror, which I'm going to put off to the side. I'm going to take out the charger, which is here by itself. Usually a seat goes here, but it looks like the seat is bigger, so it came in a separate box, which we'll get to in a moment. So now we've taken out the charger, the mirror, the user manual. We can start removing the styrofoam molding carefully. You want to keep the styrofoam molding for at least 5 days. That way, if you do decide you want to take the scooter back for whatever reason or return it, you can send it back in the factory packaging that it came in. So now that we've taken off the styrofoam molding and removed the first few parts, we can see that the tiller is here exposed, as well as the base of the scooter. So I'm going to go ahead and now begin to take off the plastic from the shroud so that I can access the tiller adjustment knob, which is basically what allows you to raise and lower your handlebars on your scooter. It's very common to see this type of mechanism. Some have a lever, some have a knob. So as you loosen it, you can see the little teeth there on the rotating mechanism get closer together, and then once it's tight enough, it gets locked into place. Now if you loosen it all the way, those teeth kind of open up, and we can bring the handlebar all the way up, which is what we want to do when we're getting ready to take this scooter out of the box for the first time. So I've simply raised the handlebars on the tiller, and tightened that knob. We can go ahead and remove the plastic now at this point from the tiller. And I'm going to turn this scooter around so that we can see what it's like to go ahead and cut the front of the box. As indicated on the top of the box here, it says, cut the front lip out so that the front lip of the box is laying flat, and then you can just wheel the scooter right out of the box. All right, so now that we've got the box facing forward, we've lifted the tiller with the tiller adjustment knob. I'm going to go ahead and follow the instructions on the box and start to cut the front lip out so it's laying flat. And you want to do this carefully. Cardboard is pretty thick, and you want to have a sharp knife. Now if you're not used to using a box cutter or a knife, You may want to have somebody that's, a little bit more familiar with using tools to do this for you, because obviously it's a sharp tool and you want to be careful. So I cut the front lip out and laid it flat just like the box showed you should do. I'm going to start removing the excess styrofoam sides. Really great job at protecting the scooter by Pride Mobility. They have the best packaging in the industry, in my opinion. As a manufacturer, they really take the time to package up their products carefully so that they arrive unharmed. All right, so at this point, I've removed most of the excess styrofoam. I'm going to take this piece out. Looks like the basket was just hiding in there, loosely underneath that piece of styrofoam, resting on top of a piece of cardboard. So I've taken out the basket. I'm going to put that to the side. And at this point, the rear piece of styrofoam is the only one left. We can get ready to start wheeling this thing out, but I need to show you what it takes to do that. We're going to unlock the scooter's drive wheel lever and roll it out. So I'm going to zoom in now and show you how that's done. All right, so in order to wheel the scooter out of the box, as it shows on the directions on the top of the box, you're going to need to do a few things. As you can see, the scooter's now becoming exposed. We just have to kind of take the plastic sheeting and push it off to the side so that when you roll it out of the box, the plastic sheeting stays behind. So I'm unwrapping the box, or the scooter, so to speak, and now what you need to do in order to push the scooter and have it be in freewheel mode, you have to unlock the brakes. And drive mode is the way it should be if you want to use the scooter with the batteries on as intended. If the batteries die for whatever reason and you need to push it manually, you put it into neutral mode. And in this case, the batteries and the keys are not installed. We need to move it without using the battery, so we've pushed it into neutral mode. And really what we need to do now is get this piece of styrofoam out of the picture here. So there is a handle here. It's a heavy scooter, so you may need help doing that, but you lift it up and then you make sure the plastic's out of the way so that the unit can roll right over it. So now that it's got the styrofoam out of the way and it's in freewheel mode, technically we should be able to move this. Now, I'm noticing there's a piece of styrofoam in front of the back wheel here, so I'm going to move it and I'm going to start to roll it. So we've got the unit out. Broke a little piece of styrofoam, which is not a big deal, but you want to try and be careful and minimize the amount of broken styrofoam. It's inevitable that it will happen. We've got a little piece here that goes around the wheel that cracked, but that's okay. So I'm going to take it out. As you can see, it does require a little bit of space to get this job done. But now we've got the scooter out of the box and we can continue to assemble it. All right, so we've got the scooter out of the box. I went ahead and got the box out of the way. It's a really nice looking scooter. This color especially stands out a lot and I like it. So I'm going to show you how to finish putting it together, and then we'll do a video review of how it rides, some of the features and things like that. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and get the seat ready. The box showed up a little bit kind of banged up, but we did manage to open it before this video to inspect it to make sure it's all good. And it is. Inside of the box, you'll find the chair is wrapped up. We've got a couple of different pieces here for this chair. It's like the rest of the scooter and all the parts that come with it, wrapped up really nicely and protected. I'm going to move it over here. This is a captain's chair, which means it's going to have the high back, unlike your typical scooter chair, which is just a low back folding kind of stadium style seat. Comes with the headrest. which I'm going to go ahead and take out of the packaging and put that off to the side back in the box. Now I'm going to put this down for a sec, continue to unwrap the seat. And now this seat at the bottom, just like any of the Pride scooters, has a male end, and the seat post has a receiving end that you can just literally put the chair right on, and it rests right into it and gets locked in automatically. There's no tools required for that. And same thing with the headrest. You can, just like a car seat, there's a little lever here which you push to kind of let it slide in, and then you can adjust the height with that lever, which we'll zoom in on here in a bit. Very easy to use, just like a car seat. I'm going to go ahead and turn the scooter to the side and show you some of the seat features here. Like most scooters, it has a lever which allows you to rotate the chair 360 degrees, and you have 8 different positions you can lock it into. On the captain's chairs, there are, you can recline slightly. You have this additional lever which allows you to fold it for storing or transportation and give you that slight recline feature. I want to show you the back of the chair because we are going to have to assemble the armrests. The armrests that come with this unit basically attach right to the chair in the back. And we'll go over how to do that now. The armrests come wrapped up separately in this box, which you'll need to open. Here's one. And two. The elbows for the armrest come wrapped separately and protected as well in a piece of cardboard. And these work just like the other armrests for any of the other mobility scooters by Pride. Simply install the elbow first. You're going to put that in by releasing the tension knob here counterclockwise until it slides in, and by pulling out the pin. So there's 2 things you need to do. Again, you need to put the pin in. Once the pin's in, adjust the knob so that it's tight and it's not wiggling. Do the same on the other side. The great thing is there are no tools required for this job. You're going to loosen the knob, take out the pin, and then put the pin back in with the elbow inserted. Go ahead and give that knob a twist, and we're pretty much almost done with the armrests installation. I'm going to go ahead and turn the scooter to the side now again so you can see just how easy it is to work with these armrests. So, for the armrests, once you have the elbows in, you just drop them right in to the receiver. Now there is an Allen key provided to tighten these little, basically it's like a little tension screw. And inside of your user manual bag that the keys come in, you're going to find not only the keys but this Allen wrench, which is the perfect fit for the armrest. And you can adjust the height. So if you want it really high up, you simply hold it where you want it and tighten this thing, give it a few twists until it doesn't slide down anymore. And you'll see that it stays right where you want it, with several adjustment points, basically giving you about, looks like 6 inches of adjustment range for the armrests. So not only can you adjust the height of the armrests, but you can adjust the width as well, as I showed you earlier, by simply taking out the pins in the back, releasing the tension adjustment knob, and bringing the armrests out wider. So really have a lot of features here as far as the armrests go, both on the width adjustment, the height adjustment. You can flip them up, you can remove them, making the scooter a pretty versatile and convenient model. So we're almost done at this point assembling it. There is one other part here that we haven't put on yet, which is the basket. The basket works just like any other Pride scooter, as you've seen in our videos. There's 2 rails with a little room in between the back of the scooter and the rails for these bracket hooks to slide right into. So you line up the rails with the hooks, drop it in, and the clip at the top will click it into place when it's in there securely. To take it out, you just push that clip back, slide up. Very easy to work with. Pride makes their products very easy to work with, and that's why we love recommending them. So at this point, you've got the scooter on, the scooter put together rather, the armrests are put on, the chair is on. There's one more box here, which we're gonna open. Now depending on what you order with your scooter, you may have opted in for a rear basket. In this case, we did. And there's a cell phone holder as well, which you can order. And they're very easy to install. We're going to go ahead and demonstrate how easy it is to install. In the back of the scooter, you've got, just like a vehicle would have a hitch receiving port to attach a trailer to, you actually have an accessory port to attach accessories to. So this rail with the different slots in it allow you to control how far in or how far back you want the basket to be. And inside of your scooter's hitch receiving port, you'll find there's the pin and the tension adjustment, or the adjustment knob here, just like on the armrest. So you take off that leather cover that's on the receiving port, grab the basket, line it up, loosen the knob until it slides in. Once it's in, and you can line up the holes, you can actually just put that pin in and then tighten the knob down so it doesn't wiggle. It's basically a backup for the pin and to keep it from wiggling. So the basket's in now, very easy to do. The scooter is fully assembled and ready to go. Okay, so to get started with the accessories, we'll start off with the rear view mirror, which you can basically see on the steering wheel here. There's a little flap cover for the accessories that attach to the steering wheel. Just simply remove that cap cover, and there's a hole for an accessory to screw into, such as this rear view mirror. So I'm going to take the mirror and I'm going to get the end of it, which has the threading, to line up with the hole and simply start twisting it in. Now you can hold the base at the bottom while twisting it in, and eventually you'll see that it goes all the way down, and you can spin the mirror around to face any direction you want,
Once it gets to a certain point, you may have to hold the mirror in place and then twist it at the base, but it's very simple. It's just like screwing something into the wall, like something to hang a picture. There's really no trick to it. All right, so here I've got the cell phone accessory which came with the scooter, and in order to work this, you're gonna have to kind of see how it works. There's a tension knob here which I'm gonna release. That allows you to wiggle and change the position of the holder from the base, which screws in right here underneath this little circular cover. You can pick it up, lift it up, and you can expose the threaded insert hole for this bolt to thread into. So you just kind of line it up and start to twist. And it takes a few twists to get it in there snug, and just be patient. If it takes a little while to get it. I like to straighten the bolts at the bottom and go straight on in, because otherwise you might get it in crooked and you're gonna have to start over. So just twist, twist, twist until it's tight enough. And now the top and the bottom can be adjusted. So if you want your cell phone, for example, I have a pretty big cell phone here, you kind of just get it in. And some of the phones that are bigger, you kind of have to squeeze them in, but that's how it works. So I'm going to take it out to show you. The phone, just you squeeze it in there and it kind of gets the tension of these prongs that have springs on them, hold it into place. So once you have it positioned the way you want it, whether it's like that, like this, like that, you tighten this knob back up, and that's going to compress these two side pieces so that the ball that's allowing it to rotate gets stuck, and it fixes it into place for you. All right, now one thing you're going to have to do before powering it up for the first time, you're going to have to get the seat off, and you're going to have to take out the shroud cover, which if you just kind of pull out from the outsides, lift it up, you'll see that you can expose the batteries. Now this is a heavy duty unit, just like the ZT10 video that we just did not too long ago. You can see the batteries. There's no battery box to conveniently lift it up and take it out, but you are gonna have to connect the batteries. So you take the thing off, the cover off, you're gonna find these two loose cables, and they have basically two black and white connections. The one on the right goes to the receiving port on the right, so you wanna line up the white with the black male end to the white and the black female end, and go ahead and make that connection so that the batteries can actually make contact with the scooter's control unit. Same thing on the left battery, line up the white with the black, connect it in, make sure it's all the way down, okay? And then put the battery cover back over the connections so that you can strap everything down very tight and securely so they don't wiggle around. I always like to push the two batteries in, make sure they're towards the middle as much as possible so that the shroud cover can easily fit back on the unit. Now, the shroud cover sometimes is a little difficult to get it to fall into where it's supposed to perfectly the first time. Don't get frustrated. Kind of find those tension points on the outside, and eventually you should hear the unit clip where it's supposed to go into place. Now, if you look at the front, there are two slots, which I like to line up, and then the rest of it kind of falls into place. Those two slots are right here. There's two little inserts, so I'm going to take it out again. You can see those two little rivets and the slots there at the bottom of the base. You kind of want to make sure those are lined up first, and then the back kind of just falls into place pretty easily. So now that the unit has power connected to the controller, if we turn it on, it'll work. You do have this lever here to disconnect the front from the back. It does disassemble, and basically you grab from here, you pull, and you move it away from the rear. But the batteries have to be disconnected. So we're not going to show you that in this video, but we will in the next video. I'm going to put the chair back on, which we just simply line up the male end with the female receiving end. Might take one or two tries. Once it's in, give it a wiggle. Shouldn't rotate. Now, I'm gonna remove the sticker from the ignition key. I'm gonna grab the keys. And you're probably gonna hear a beeping noise because if you remember, when we turned the scooter on earlier, we put it into freewheel mode, which it's currently in. So the scooter won't move. Why? Because it's in freewheel mode. So what you do is you turn it off, go back to the lever earlier, which we put into freewheel mode. That's why I can pull it and push it. And it won't work in that mode. So I put it back into drive mode. I'm gonna turn the unit back on, and now it moves, just as intended. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you assemble the Pride Victory LX Sport 4-wheel mobility scooter. One of the newest models, features a full lighting package with turn signals, really nice rear brake lights, and all the bells and whistles you can expect in a higher end scooter made by Pride Mobility. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for the full review and demo video, which is coming next.